a new era. For the first time in program history, North Alabama will play in its new on-campus stadium. Add in some new coordinators, veteran leadership, and the Lions are looking to turn the page in 2026. Joining us today, we have the fourth-year head coach, Brent Dearmon. He brought with him his quarterback, Destin Wade, and representing the defense, Jaheim Ingram. And Coach, I'll start with you. Always good to have you back here. And you look at last year. I know the record isn't where you wanted it to be, but you went toe-to-toe with an FCS national champion runner-up in Illinois State. You pushed them to double overtime. How have you watched this program evolve to where you want it to be heading into 2026?
I'm very excited where we're at as a program right now. You look back to last season, we've got 3 games. We go into overtime, even double overtime, with either conference opponents that ended up right at the playoffs or with an Illinois State team that had an opportunity to win the national championship. So excited that we're bringing a quarterback to Media Days. It's the first time in my 4 years that we've brought a quarterback to Media Days, and that should tell you how much we believe in this guy. When he is healthy, I think he's one of the best players in FCS football. And having Jaheim Ingram here, a senior defensive lineman that's played for 4 years, we'll have to figure out what next year with the 5th year looks like with a guy like him, but really excited where our team's at heading into this season.
One of the really exciting things going into this season is what you talked about, opening that new stadium on September 19th against Alcorn State. But that makes a difference for a coach in recruiting as well. How has that affected your recruiting, your team, and just the excitement for the community and having your own place this season?
I would say we landed probably the best recruiting class since I've been at North Alabama, just off the sheer fact that we could take kids into the stadium. You put a hard hat on and a vest, and you got to tour the stadium with guys instead of showing blueprints, instead of showing something on a TV screen. They actually got to physically see the stadium being built. So it helped us to bring in a better quality of player this offseason, either in the portal or through high school recruiting. I think it's given our players on campus a little bit more pride of playing for the university when there is an on-campus stadium that shows the level of commitment that our president, our athletic director, our board of trustees all have in the program to embark on building an on-campus stadium for the first time.
Destin, I love what you said last year. You had told Coach, hey, look, I'm your guy. You didn't start at the beginning of the season, but then you went on to become the starter before you were injured. This year, knowing that you're coming to Media Day, you're that guy, how much have you evolved in terms of just your confidence and getting ready to really run this offense from the start?
Yeah, I just want to thank Coach Dearmon for the opportunity, give me the opportunity to start here and play here for such a great university. But I'm excited for the season. I think playing those games last season got me a lot of confidence, and I'm just ready to roll.
Jaheim, ask you a question. First off, welcome back. One of 2 players that did this with us in Nashville last year. You're doing it again here. For you, I'll ask you kind of the same question about the stadium and what does it mean for a guy that's been around for a while to get to be a part of opening up that new sucker on September 19th?
For me, it's kind of different because, Florence is my hometown. I was born and raised in Florence. So it's great seeing, all the excitement, everybody coming back. They think we got that football blood coming back to North Alabama, and I think that's what that stadium is going to do.
Jaheim, you mentioned that you're a native to Alabama, and last year you were actually voted male fan favorite. What does that mean for you as a guy who has so much pride in his hometown and is trying to put North Alabama on the map and on a quest to win a national championship?
I really think it means a lot because I take a lot of pride in, my city, my community. So I love giving back, doing community service. So things like that all play a factor into it. And it's just a blessing at the end of the day.
Coach Dearmon, you mentioned bringing Destin back and how much it means to the program. We all know, in the transfer portal period where you're bringing new players in, when you bring a new player in that first year, it's obviously they're better. But that second year, especially for a quarterback, how much difference can that make for a program when he knows what's expected of him from day one?
I told our radio guys this morning is Destin as a football player is God-given. His abilities are just through the roof. Where I've seen Destin grow more this offseason is his leadership skills. And when you can bring a quarterback back, it helps the whole football team. It doesn't just help the offense, doesn't just help us scoring points. For the defense to know we have the guy in place, for the coaching staff to know we have a guy in place. It helps your entire program anytime you've got a second-year quarterback. Instead of us teaching him our terminology, our language, he knows it where he's teaching players. He's been able to, I think every Saturday this summer, he's had all the receivers out throwing, where last summer that wasn't happening because he didn't know he was the guy. Now that he has the vote of confidence of the team, he's been able to lead more this offseason than he was in the past.
And Dustin, for you, when you hear your coach talk about how your leadership has grown, where have you seen your leadership evolve as you are that guy and you're leading a bunch of newcomers to this roster?
I think I agree with Coach Dearmon. I think I felt like I've grown in my leadership, being more vocal, just leading by my actions and just trying to hold the standard as a team. So I think I've done a good job at that.
Jaheim, you've been with Coach Dearmon now your whole time with the Lions. Can you talk about what you like playing for him and why you stick around even with all the success that you've had? Because it's not just quarterbacks that get opportunities to play in other spots. It's really good defensive players like yourself as well.
Yeah, Coach Dearmon's like my partner in crime, man. He's the reason I'm here at the end of the day. He sold me on something. And everything, like I said in the past, everything that he sold me on is coming into fruition right now, especially with the stadium. So it's just nice to, see his word hold weight and see everything go into play.
And I'm going to give a shout-out to both of these guys. They, not only are they our media day representatives because they're great players, but they really represent who we are as a program. You look at Jaheim Ingram, who grew up in Muscle Shoals. He's the face of North Alabama football. He wears the number 44 jersey because of his team voting on him as a leader, but then Destin Wade as well. Could have went anywhere. I mean, a quarterback with starting experience usually moves on, moves up. Both of these guys decided to stay and be a staple of what we're building at North Alabama.
Destin, you last year suffered an injury. I think one of the most underrated things in all of sports, especially team sports, is when you suffer an injury and you're removed from that team, just mentally, from a mental health standpoint. I think it seems like you've done a great job of staying involved with the team. Can you just talk about that experience and making your way back?
Yeah, it was hard. And my twin brother had the same injury, so I got a little pointers from that. But, I just got to thank God for giving me encouragement and strength through that whole process and just staying mentally intact and just making sure my guys are right and leading them to the end of the season.
You got kind of a history with another guy that plays in this conference as well. He is the offensive player of the year preseason. You were Mr. Tennessee over him in high school. Chris Parson is a guy you're very familiar with. Y'all faced off last year. Can you just talk a little bit about that history with him and what it means to you to see him get this preseason honor?
Oh, yeah, he's a great quarterback. Every time I play against him, I have to bring my A game because I know he's going to bring his. So, it's a challenge competing versus him. He's a great quarterback, competed through him since high school. So I'm just eager and ready for the challenge to compete against him. A great dude, too.
Hey, Coach, you look at the schedule that's ahead for you. You get your fourth national television game of the season, and you're playing some big-time opponents. What stands out as you're looking to build this team up early and test where they're at?
Oh, I think we got a great opponent in Sanford in week one, a very good FCS program through the years with a brand new staff that does a great job, Coach Gross down there. We're playing in Huntsville, so it's a kind of a neutral site game for us. Then we get tested and go on the road at Arkansas. And then game 3, we've got a very, very talented Southeastern Louisiana team. That was a playoff team last year. So 3 good games before coming home and opening up that home stadium against a good Alcorn State team before jumping into kind of a conference slate that we know week in and week out is a very tough conference to play in. So we'll get tested early, but we get to see who we are very early in the season.
Biggest test that you'll have early in the season, obviously, at Arkansas, an SEC team. Some of these FCS teams are choosing not to play some of these bigger schools. You guys obviously are still doing that. Can you talk about the decision to take on big schools like that?
I think it's a great experience for the players. All these players grew up in the South with Jaheim in Alabama, Destin in Tennessee, and they all grew up in the SEC kind of blueprint, and they wanted to play in those stadiums. They wanted to play in those venues. So I think for me, having one game a year where we take these kids and they get to play in front of 80,000 fans, where they get to play it and see the Hogs getting called in Fayetteville, or in a couple years we play at Auburn. So to put these players in those big venues that they all grew up wanting to play in, I think it's a great experience for them. I know some others are not in that same boat that we are, but I like going to those venues and letting our players get exposed to that.
First SEC opponent since 1959. The Lions will open up the year August 29th against Samford, and the UAC opener against Eastern Kentucky October 3rd.